Good evening, everyone. Fear is a powerful force. It's the invisible wall standing between us and our greatest potential. But here's the truth. Fear is nothing more than a state of mind. It can either be your prison or your motivation. It's all in how you face it. You see, fear is normal. It's a natural response wired into us to protect us. But living in fear is a choice. You can either let fear paralyze you or propel you forward. The difference lies in your mindset. When you confront fear, you begin to realize that most fears are illusions crafted by doubt and uncertainty. The key is to act in spite of fear, not in the absence of it. Courage is not the lack of fear. It's taking action even when you're afraid. So how do we conquer fear? We confront it head on. We replace fear with faith, action, and belief. We grow by challenging ourselves, stepping into discomfort, and embracing failure as a stepping stone. Each time you overcome fear, you build unshakable confidence. Think about it. What could you achieve if fear didn't hold you back? The life you desire is on the other side of fear. It's time to break free. Choose courage over comfort. Dare to dream, dare to fail, and dare to rise again. The more you avoid fear, the stronger it becomes. Confront it and it weakens. Fear is a mental construct. Change your perspective and fear loses its grip. The best way to conquer fear is through decisive action. Do what scares you. Start small, tackle minor fears, and watch your confidence grow. Imagine yourself succeeding despite fear. It rewires your brain for courage. Fear of failure paralyzes. See, failure is a lesson, not a loss. Somewhat a loss. The more you challenge yourself, the less fearful you become. Let fear motivate you instead of limiting you. Push harder when afraid. Courage is contagious. Stay around those who uplift you. Fear fades when you persist. Consistency breaks the chains of fear. The first step to conquering fear is to meet it directly without hesitation. When you face fear head on, you strip it of its power. See, fear loves the shadows. It thrives in avoidance and procrastination. The longer you wait, the bigger it grows, whispering doubts and exaggerating consequences. But when you decide to confront it, you begin to see fear for what it truly is, an obstacle made larger by your imagination. It's like standing at the edge of a cold swimming pool. The thought of jumping in seems unbearable. But the moment you dive, you realize the water isn't nearly as cold as you imagined. The fear was worse than the reality. Life works the same way. Most of what we fear never happens, and the rest is often less frightening than we expected. When you face fear, you don't have to be fearless. Just be brave enough to take the first step. Action weakens fear, and persistence destroys it. Once you step forward, momentum takes over, and the fear that once seemed so daunting starts to dissolve. Suddenly, you're not running from fear, you're running toward growth, opportunity, and strength. You'll discover that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action in spite of it. And the rewards are immense. Confidence grows, self-respect deepens, and your vision expands. Every time you face fear, you unlock a new level of potential. You become stronger, more resilient, and less controlled by doubt. So don't let fear dictate your life. Make the decision to confront it. Even if your voice shakes and your knees tremble, the act of facing fear is the beginning of mastery. And on the other side of that fear is the life you've always wanted. The way you see the world shapes your reality. If you view challenges as threats, fear will control you. But if you see them as opportunities, fear turns into excitement and invitation to grow. It all starts with your mindset. Change the way you think and you'll change the way you live. Fear often comes from focusing on what could go wrong. We imagine worst-case scenarios, magnifying problems until they seem impossible to overcome. But what if you asked yourself a different question? Instead of what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? Instead of dwelling on setbacks, focus on solutions. A small shift in perspective can make a world of difference. Your mind is a powerful tool. What you believe shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. When you train your mind to expect the best, you start finding ways to make it happen. You see possibilities instead of obstacles, and when setbacks occur, you don't crumble, you adapt. Think about it. Two people can face the same situation. One sees a problem, the other sees an opportunity. One hesitates, the other takes action. The difference isn't luck or talent, it's mindset. The person who expects victory finds a way, while the one who expects defeat looks for excuses. You don't need to be fearless to act. You just need enough courage to begin. Courage is the willingness to act despite fear. It's acknowledging the fear but refusing to be paralyzed by it. And as you keep moving forward, something incredible happens. Fear transforms into confidence. The task that seemed impossible becomes manageable. The obstacles you dreaded become opportunities. Action is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters that you start. Some wait for confidence to appear before acting, but confidence is a reward for action, not a requirement. You earn it by stepping into discomfort, by proving to yourself that you can handle more than you think. So whenever fear grips you, remember this: don't let it make you hesitate. Act quickly, even if it feels uncomfortable. The faster you respond, the less time fear has to grow. And each time you act, you weaken fear's influence and strengthen your resolve. Soon, what once terrified you becomes just another challenge, a challenge you know you can conquer. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build step by step, decision by decision. It's not a gift, it's a reward for consistent effort. Too often, people think confidence is reserved for the bold, the talented, or the naturally gifted. But real confidence is earned, and anyone can build it if they're willing to start small and stay committed. You see, confidence is a lot like a muscle. You can't expect to lift heavy weights on your first day at the gym. But if you start with what you can handle, no matter how small, over time, your strength increases. The same goes for confidence. It's about stacking small victories, one on top of the other, until what once seemed impossible becomes second nature. It begins with simple actions. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, trying a new skill, or introducing yourself to someone new. Small steps may seem insignificant, but they carry immense power. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you teach yourself a valuable lesson. You can handle it. You didn't just survive, you grew. And each success, no matter how small, adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. And here's the secret: momentum matters. Consistency compounds. When you keep showing up, even when you're uncertain, you build resilience. You start to trust yourself. You realize you're more capable than you thought. Suddenly, challenges that used to intimidate you now seem manageable. And when setbacks come, you handle them with grace because you've trained yourself to adapt and persevere. Too many people wait to feel confident before taking action, but it doesn't work that way. Confidence doesn't come from knowing you'll succeed. It comes from being willing to try, even if you might fail. It's about trusting yourself to figure things out, knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. So don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. Embrace the discomfort of growth and let each step build your confidence. Over time, you'll realize there's very little you can't achieve when you believe in yourself. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your confidence soar. The mind is a powerful tool. It can be your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle. What you consistently picture in your mind shapes your reality. If you focus on failure, doubts, and fears, you'll find yourself paralyzed, held back by the very thoughts you entertain. But when you visualize success, truly see it, feel it, and believe it, you set the stage for achievement. Visualization isn't just daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's a process of conditioning your mind to expect success. The mind can't always tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you see yourself succeeding, overcoming challenges, achieving your goals, and living the life you desire, you create a mental blueprint. It's a practice run for success. You build familiarity with winning, and that familiarity breeds confidence. But it's not enough to just see the end result. Picture the journey. See yourself navigating the challenges, handling setbacks with poise, and staying focused in the face of adversity. Imagine the actions you'll need to take, the habits you'll need to form, and the obstacles you'll overcome. Make the vision so clear and detailed that it feels real. Because when you mentally prepare for success, you're more equipped to seize opportunities when they arise. When you visualize, engage all your senses. Hear the applause, feel the satisfaction, and taste the victory. Let the emotions of success fill you: pride, joy, fulfillment. The stronger the feeling, the deeper the impression on your mind. It's not just about seeing the dream, it's about feeling it with absolute certainty. This practice rewires your thinking. You start believing in the possibility of success, and belief drives behavior. You begin acting in alignment with your vision, making choices that move you closer to your goals. The doubts that once held you back start to fade, replaced by determination and conviction. And here's the real beauty: when challenges arise, your mind doesn't panic. It's been here before. You've rehearsed this scenario. You know how to respond. You move with confidence because you've already succeeded in your mind. The gap between dream and reality begins to close. So see yourself winning. Picture the life you want with vivid clarity. Do it often, every morning, every night, and every time fear whispers in your ear. When you consistently visualize success, you program yourself for greatness. Your actions follow your thoughts, and success becomes inevitable. Failure is a word that strikes fear into the hearts of many, but it shouldn't. It's misunderstood, feared when it should be embraced. The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a vital part of it. It's the training ground for greatness. Without failure, there's no growth, no refinement, and no real achievement. The key is to reframe failure, to see it not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone. Life has a way of teaching us lessons, and often failure is the teacher. When things don't go as planned, you're given a chance to learn what doesn't work, to refine your approach, and to come back stronger. It's a painful but powerful process. Those who fear failure avoid challenges, settle for less, and miss out on their potential. But those who embrace it, who understand its value, gain wisdom, resilience, and strength. The problem is that most people see failure as a verdict of judgment on their abilities, character, or potential. But failure is not a label, it's feedback. It's simply a result, an outcome that shows you what needs to change. It's a compass pointing you toward a better path. When you make a mistake, don't bury your head or wallow in self-pity. Instead, ask yourself, what did I learn? How can I use this to improve? Every successful person has a story of failure, sometimes more than one. They didn't avoid failure. They faced it, learned from it, and moved forward. Each setback was a setup for a comeback. They understood that the road to success is paved with lessons disguised as failures. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the closer you get to your goals. Reframing failure means changing your inner dialogue. Instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, think, I'm getting better. This shift in mindset turns failure from a source of discouragement into a source of motivation. It keeps you moving forward, focused on growth instead of fear. And remember, failure is temporary. It only becomes permanent if you quit. As long as you keep trying, keep learning, and keep improving, failure cannot defeat you. It can only refine you. Each time you stumble, you're given a chance to rise stronger. So don't fear failure, reframe it. See it for what it truly is, a necessary part of the journey, a powerful teacher, and a stepping stone to success. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your determination. Because the only true failure is refusing to try. Life is a journey of constant change, and the key to thriving in this ever-evolving world is a commitment to growth. True success isn't about reaching a destination, it's about becoming more than you were yesterday. It's about the pursuit of growth, the dedication to continuous improvement, and the decision to never settle for less than your potential. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention, effort, and persistence. It means making a conscious choice to keep learning, stretching, and challenging yourself even when it's uncomfortable. Too often people become complacent, satisfied with what they already know or what they've already achieved. But the moment you stop growing, you start declining. There's no standing still. Life is always moving, and you must move with it. Commitment to growth means seeking out opportunities to expand your knowledge, develop new skills, and refine your character. It's reading books that challenge your thinking, surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, and embracing experiences that push you out of your comfort zone. It's understanding that the best investment you can make is in yourself. When you invest in your mind, your abilities, and your character, the returns are limitless. But here's the thing, growth is uncomfortable. It requires you to face your weaknesses, confront your fears, and endure setback. It's tempting to give up when things get tough, but commitment means staying the course. It's the discipline to keep going, even when progress feels slow or results seem far away. So it's a resilience to rise after every fall, to keep learning after every mistake, and to push forward when it would be easier to retreat. A commitment to growth means valuing progress over perfection. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them. It's the mindset that says, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm better than I was yesterday. It's finding satisfaction in the process, knowing that every small step brings you closer to your goals. When you stay committed to growth, life becomes an exciting journey. Challenges become opportunities, and setbacks become stepping stones. You stop seeing limits and start seeing possibilities. You realize that the real prize isn't what you achieve, it's who you become in the process. So make growth a lifelong commitment. Embrace the discomfort, endure the challenges, and stay the course. Feed your mind, strengthen your skills, and refine your character. And watch as your life transforms, because when you stay committed to growth, success becomes inevitable. Fear is a powerful force. It can either hold you back or push you forward. The difference lies in how you respond to it. Too often, people let fear paralyze them, keeping them trapped in their comfort zones and away from the life they truly want. But fear doesn't have to be a barrier. It can be a catalyst. When you learn to use fear as fuel, you turn it into a driving force for action, growth, and achievement. See, fear is a signal. It points out what matters to you. You don't fear things that don't mean anything. You fear the risks tied to your dreams, ambitions, and potential. That's a good thing. It means your fear is an indicator of what's important. Instead of letting it stop you, recognize it as a sign that you're on the right track. The bigger the fear, the more significant the goal. But fear unchecked becomes an anchor. It keeps you stuck. You have to flip the script. Rather than fearing failure, fear regret. Let the thought of wasted potential, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled dreams drive you harder than any fear of failing ever could. Ask yourself, what's scarier, facing this fear now or living a life of what ifs and if onlys? The answer is clear. The pain of regret lasts far longer than the sting of failure. Use fear to energize you. When you feel that anxiety creeping in, let it ignite the determination. Let it be the fire that pushes you to prepare, practice, and perform at your best. Turn nerves into focus, uncertainty into drive, and hesitation into bold action. Fear can either freeze you in place or propel you forward. The choice is yours. And here's the secret. The more you use fear as fuel, the less power it has over you. You start building resilience, courage, and confidence. You realize that fear isn't an enemy to be defeated, but a tool to be harnessed. Over time, what once scared you becomes manageable, even exciting. You learn to lean into discomfort because you know it leads to growth. Every great achievement comes with fear. The challenge is not to eliminate fear, but to act in spite of it. Feel the fear and move forward anyway. Let it remind you of what's at stake, and let it push you to be your best. When you use fear as fuel, it no longer controls you, you control it. And that's when life opens up, doors unlock, and your true potential is realized. Who you spend time with shapes who you become. It's a fundamental truth. Your environment influences your mindset, habits, and outlook on life. If you surround yourself with fearful, negative, or complacent people, their doubts and limitations will rub off on you. But when you choose to be around courageous, driven, and ambitious people, their strength becomes contagious. Their confidence and determination inspire you to rise above your fears and push your limits. Courage is a mindset, and like any mindset, it can be cultivated. One of the fastest ways to build courage is to align yourself with people who live boldly, those who dare to take risks, embrace challenges, and chase their dreams. When you watch someone face their fears head on, it ignites something within you. You start to see fear differently, not as a wall to stop you, but as a hurdle to overcome. The right people challenge you. They push you out of your comfort zone and call you out when you settle for less than your potential. They don't indulge your excuses or validate your fears. They remind you of your strength, your goals, and your capabilities. They believe in you often before you believe in yourself, and that belief can make all the difference. On the other hand, the wrong people drain your courage. They magnify your doubts and validate your excuses. They say things like, be realistic, play it safe, or that's too risky. They project their own fears onto you, and if you're not careful, you'll start to adopt their mindset. The company you keep is a choice. Choose wisely. Seek out people who inspire you, those who have walked the path you want to travel. Learn from their experiences, absorb their mindset, and adopt their habits. Spend time with those who talk about ideas, possibilities, and growth, not problems, limitations, and complaints. The conversations you engage in shape your perspective, so make sure they're conversations that fuel your courage, not your fears. And don't just rely on personal connections. Immerse yourself in the wisdom of courageous minds. Read books, listen to podcasts, and watch talks from people who embody courage. Let their stories remind you that fear is natural, but overcoming it is a choice. Over time, this environment of courage becomes your new normal. You start taking bigger risks, setting higher goals, and facing challenges with confidence. The fear that once held you back becomes just another obstacle to overcome. You begin to reflect the courage of those around you, and in turn, you become a source of courage for others. So choose your circle carefully. Surround yourself with people who make you better, who inspire you to grow, and who push you to be courageous. Life is too short to be held back by fear, and too precious to be spent in the company of those who encourage it. Stand with the bold, and you'll find yourself becoming one of them. Persistence is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the key ingredient that separates those who succeed from those who merely try. It's not about how many times you succeed, but about how many times you keep going, even when things get tough. Life is filled with obstacles, challenges, and setbacks, but none of these are insurmountable if you stay persistent. You see, success is not always immediate. It's not always a straight path. Sometimes the road is long, winding, and filled with detours. But here's the truth. Those who are persistent are those who find their way. They understand that the journey to success is not a sprint, but a marathon. They take one step at a time, no matter how hard or how slow the progress may seem. Persistence means showing up day after day, even when the rewards are not immediate. It's putting in the effort, even when you don't see immediate results. It's the courage to keep moving forward when the world around you is telling you to stop. When others give up, those who are persistent keep pushing. They keep learning, improving, and adapting. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well, but true persistence is tested when things get difficult. That's when it matters most. It's during the toughest moments that your character is forged. Persistence is not just about continuing, it's about continuing with purpose, focus, and a belief that success is inevitable as long as you refuse to quit. Every setback you face is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. The key is to keep moving, to keep learning, and to keep adjusting your approach. The most successful people aren't the ones who never fail, they're the ones who fail, learn, and try again. They understand that persistence is not about avoiding mistakes, it's about staying committed to the process, even when the process gets tough. In the face of adversity, persistence keeps you moving forward. It doesn't allow you to give up. And over time, as you stay persistent, you'll look back and realize that the struggles were part of what made you who you are. The resilience you built, the lessons you learned, and the determination you develop will be your foundation for success. So don't be discouraged by obstacles or setbacks. Understand that they are part of the journey. Stay persistent. Keep showing up. Keep putting in the effort. The path might not always be clear, but if you stay persistent, you will eventually find your way. And when you do, you'll look back and realize that persistence was the one thing that made all the difference.